We're going to just take a moment to have some comments from our newly elected officials, starting with Commissioner Chris McVoy.
Thank you all. My comments will be a little bit more informal, but I hope relevant. First of all, I'd like to thank the many residents who, by their votes, indicated their confidence in my ability to represent their interests. As all of you, I think, know, I feel very strongly that it's very important that all residents have a voice in Lake Worth. And I take that challenge in this diverse community very seriously. I would also like to thank the grassroots residents who are the reason why I'm here. That in this community there is a very strong feeling that democracy is something that you make yourself. You don't order it somewhere or other. You get out and you organize and knock on doors, and it's real people speaking up, putting $5 in here, a few more in there, and coming together to elect somebody who can represent them. I am very grateful that in this election I actually won, somewhat to my surprise, but I won by a quite large margin, 60-40 approximately. And I think it's worth thinking about that a little bit, whether there's a message embodied in that. And of course, I don't have full knowledge of all things, but I think we can perhaps pull a few things out of it. I think it's fairly easy to say, and I know from having been out in the community, that it reflects a very broad base of support. It reflects folks from all different parts of Lake Worth. It reflects the College Park community, it reflects the Haitian community, it reflects the Latin community, it reflects folks from the south side of town, the north side, all different parts of it. And I'm very proud of that breadth of support. I think it also reflects a strong support for maybe a certain philosophy of governing that says ideology is really not very interesting. It's nice on the campaign trail perhaps, but really what's important is good governance. Folks making reasonable, thought out, widely supported decisions for the betterment of their community. I think the election also reflects a couple of specific things that maybe are worth mentioning. I was very pleased to find that there was a very strong positive feeling around Lake Worth, a feeling that we had been going in a quite good direction. Some of that was started several commissions ago, some of it is more recent, but there are good things happening. I think there are things that we can be proud of. And there was a wish to be proud of our community and honor our community. And I think everyone knows I feel very positive about Lake Worth, and I want to. That's why I serve. I think there was a rejection of a concept that was circulated a little bit, that we need to have a fifth vote on the commission that would approve what the other four folks were thinking. And I think there was a very clear understanding in the community that there's a reason that there are 5 of us up here and not just 1 or 2 or 3. Because the likelihood of a city going in a good direction is higher when you bring a diversity of viewpoints, a diversity of backgrounds, a diversity of representation. Doesn't mean we're always going to agree. We probably will disagree fairly frequently. But there are things that we bring with those different perspectives. And there's an ability to make sure everybody's represented that I think was a very big part of why I won. I think there was a rejection also of the concept of easy but not attainable promises. We all want gold streets, gold paved streets, and a bunch of other things. We all would like our electric rates to be infinitely lower. And so there was a feeling, let's sell to FP&L and this will solve all our problems. I think one doesn't have to look beyond the city's own website to realize that that was a nice thing to promise, but not at all attainable. There's a desire for a balanced budget. I think there's a very strong feeling across our community of we need to have a small town feel. We have something unique in South Florida. We value that and we want to keep it. And that's been spoken to. And finally, I think after Hurricane Sandy in the Northeast, it is no longer possible, as the governors of New Jersey, of New York State, the mayor of New York City all came out and said, it is no longer possible to ignore climate change. Not when $50 billion of expenses by the public, by insurance agencies go up in one storm. Not with that kind of loss of life. It is a time where we have to think way beyond short-term decisions and think long-term decisions, and many of those will be environmental, and I will speak to that. I look forward to working with my colleagues. I look forward to finding areas of commonality and working together to push those forward. Thank you.